Shalom, shalom, brothers. Brother Kamal Mahar here, back at it again. First thing first, we give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahar Kakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders along this true from. Blessing to the Akim out there preaching his word with horror to sincerity. Blessed to the 144,000, one-third entirely, the first fruits kingdom of heaven. Has David, the B'yafta Wadah. And shalom to you brothers out there speaking different tongues and looking different nations. Shalom to you, brothers. So today, brothers, want to get back into what our major goal is, or not necessarily a goal, but what is our actually top job to do as men of the Lord. And our top job is to prophesy and go out on the highways and hedges and bid our people to the marriage. Prophesy the up and coming calamities on this earth, prophesy the return of Yahweh Shah, ultimately, one, the chip, the mark of the beast. You have Jacob's trouble. You have, and also the World War III, the return of Yahweh Shah, and the changing of the bodies, second covenant, being delivered through salvation, which is the ultimate thing we're really aiming for, to begin beamed up into those chariots, along with, with the return of Yahweh Shah and the coming down and the establishment of the kingdom of heaven. That's pretty much like the gist of what we're doing. You know what I mean? Yahweh Shah had died for us, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Seminole Indians. So that gives us the opportunity in what you call grace period to repent, to come back to the fold, aka adoption, which is pertaining to Israel. I said that in my last video, and who's Paul's brethren. And by repenting and coming back to the law, statute, commandments is giving you the opportunity to be right with Yahweh through Yahweh Shah, and ultimately be a believer through faith. And also, if you a prophet, you was meant to be, obviously, and to do this work, to prophesy, take the mantle that Yahweh Shah was doing, alongside with like-minded brothers that you see beside yourself or on these videos, or brothers that you actually are watching or come up to a camp or so, breaking bread. The main goal is edify, for sure. You know what I mean? It's to tell our people who they are, Israelites. And, if there's a question, beautiful, you can go ahead and answer it through the scriptures, break it down, which is also a part of the good job. But one of the main jobs is to prophesy the downfall of this wicked kingdom, wicked system that we call Babylon, that Esau is ruling right now, to bring that down along with the other governments and all the other prophecies that I established already, leading to the ultimate of the return of Yahweh Shah and the kingdom of heaven. Our job is to prophesy and to keep establishing itself, because the more and more and more that we're actually prophesying and doing this work, which will also just makes more and more of the system in his kingdom to be brought down. That's why I'll start with this first precept. I didn't have this one written down, but that's why it says in Matthew 24, it says, Matthew 24:14, it says, "And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come." So, which we're seeing on a very large scale, there are Israelites all around the world popping up, I would say daily at this point. And what are they doing? Oh, another thing, professing the names of Yahweh and Yahweh Shah, right? Which is also a very, very key thing to where it all starts first. You have to know the names, and then you can prophesy in the name and things start rolling, right? But when will the end come? The end will come when this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world as a witness unto all nations. I like to say on the highways and hedges, when me and my brothers are out there, that we're in a day and age now where you can pretty much ask a trivial question or a random question of, to any person, And I give or take, if I was to take a little bit of a guesstimate, I'm about now in 2024, it's probably about 8 out of 10 now. 7 is a minimum, but that's still a pretty good high number, above 50%. But I'm gonna give you 8 out of 10 people will be asked the question, have you ever heard of an Israelite? They're gonna say a couple things. They're gonna say, yes, I have. And then refer to that, yes, I have, most likely between, oh, my cousin or my pop into that, or my cousin is an Israelite, or my girl's uncle's pop be into that. There's going to be a situation where a majority of people are going to at least heard of or actually know what an Israelite is or what it's about. If they get into it or not, they know it. That's why, so when it says, in this gospel, the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then the end shall come. Not to mention, when we prophesying and we're teaching our people, mainly aiming for the elect, but when we're prophesying, we doing this work of the Lord, a lot of stuff can sound, a little wild, and it can create a scoffer. Because even a scoffer will say, oh, you talking about them Israelites, them bulls, they be talking about the future and saying that it's going to be some guy going to come back, talking about Jesus going to come with angels and beam them up and they're going to have powers and be in this golden kingdom. Like, I heard what he had to say. But listen to what just happened, though. Listen to what the person regurgitated. See, that's the spirit of the Lord. Even though the person don't believe, the person still has heard of an Israelite through the prophesying of all these brothers that's out here doing this work on the highways and hedges, from family and friends of a reference or a referral from, heard of, or actually know somebody personally that actually is. And even if they don't get into it or anything, they can regurgitate that, which is still the gospel. Repent, because the kingdom of heaven is at hand. You see what I'm saying? So that's crazy for a person that don't even get down with it to say something like that. Oh, you talking about the Israelite brothers talking about if you pray to God, then you say forgiveness, that he going, bring you back to their culture type shit, whatever they were saying. And these UFO chariot type stuff going to come and beam them up and give them salvation and change their bodies up and give them spiritual and give them special powers. Like, yeah, whatever. I heard what they had to say. Like, damn. But if I heard that, I'd be like, well, shit, the Lord's working. Because remember, you can't do nothing against the truth before the truth. Roughly paraphrasing. So any publicity is good publicity. You know what I mean? Let me go to Revelations 19 and 10. It'll let you know what it's all about. And I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahushua. Worship Yahweh, for the spirit of Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy. That's what this whole thing is rooted on. Prophecy. It's about what's coming up. What book got prophecy like something like the scriptures got and actually happened? So Isaiah 34 and 16 said, seek out the book and read. And roughly paraphrasing, that it shall have no mate. There's no book that can come against the scriptures and be like it or equal to it and compete with it. It ain't gonna happen. You know what I mean? The main job of us brothers at this moment, especially in the times we living in right now, seeing all this crazy stuff. Now, granted, the Lord do got a spirit of delusion out here and blindness going on, something crazy. There are actually people who really don't see the prophecies coming into play. World War III about to happen, all the development of the collapses and the economy collapses and the dollar going down and potential war, civil war, things of that nature, Jekyll's trouble, however they want to word it, in their terms. But through the spiritual, we can see all these things developing, and it's very scary how close this stuff really is. But then there's people who don't understand it all. But at the same time, spirit of prophecy is actually going hard body right now. And so now we can see, because it's so ramping up so heavy like this, is really like we're at the end of this thing, bro. Like we're the society is still intact. My job is, I can see the system still working. Doesn't mean anything. It's going to go down when it need to go down, but we can see it already going down. Slowly but surely, we keep prophesying and keep decaying this thing from inside. The more we prophesy, the faster things roll. If there wasn't no prophesying at all, then maybe it wasn't the time for this, prophecy of the return of the dry bones, or, or Israel to remember themselves in the land of their captivity in the first place. That prophecy will still be, what you would call untouched so far, but it's been touched. These prophecies that we're talking about, and I'm talking about this very second, already been fulfilled and already happening. So, and this gospel is already going around the whole world. We got it going through the media. You got it going through YouTube. Now celebrities are talking about it. The Kyrie Irvings and all this extra stuff. Like it's just Kanye West's, and bro, we out here. And that's what's making this whole thing crumble for what it has to be. And you gotta remember, there was prophets on the scene heavy, but there was a future prophecy that was going to be in the latter days, that we was going to be in the land of captivity. We're going to remember ourselves, right? But remember the spirit of the prophet. Matter of fact, let me get that. 1 Corinthians 14:32 says, matter of fact, if start 29, let the prophet seek 2 or 3. And let the other judge. And that's pretty much like a actual court case, a very logical, more fair situation where there's 2 or more people that can verify from some information or the truth of anything. It's called a witness, right? They're very important. And it says number 30, if anything be revealed to another that sitteth by, let the first hold his peace, right? And it says, for ye may all prophesy one by one, that all may learn and all may be comforted. Because it's very comforting to prophesy on the return of Yahushua and to deliver his elect. Lord willing, to be a part of that number. And if I'm not part of that number, I'm praying that the brothers, that the elect get delivered out of here. You know what I'm saying? So, but I want to see brothers win, and I would love to be part of that winning team. But I also want to do this work to see the brothers win, and Lord willing, I can win too as well. And it says, for ye may all prophesy one by one, that all may learn and all may be comforted. And the spirits of the prophets are subject to the prophets. So if you was a prophet in your past life and you reincarnate, you're going to be one again, big fella. You ain't going to get around that at all. You know what I mean? No matter how many generations you came back, boom, as a prophet, you died. Yes, bet I get to be something different when I come back. Nope, prophet again. And then do the work of the Lord. Is subject to you, big fella, or what you would call pertaineth to. That spirit has a built-in system to when it comes to be activated into the terrestrial flesh. At some point in that particular vessel, it will be doing this. Somehow, some way, the Lord got it set up to at a certain point in time is going to activate itself to make you be in a position where you're going to be doing this. And that's prophesying, which is the major role for a prophet, which is obviously how the Lord speaks to the people in the masses of the world for a warning of the things they're doing wrong and what's going on in the environment or as a country as a whole. And so the Lord would say what he needed to say through his men. The men would speak it. Once they speak it, it was the word of the Lord. It was validated through the spirit that we was able to break it down and do our thing. And then once we said it, now the Lord justified to whatever's continuing through the warning. Ezekiel, 33 going to that, right? Blow the trumpet, blow the horn. But if the people don't, if you blow the horn and people are not prepared, then their blood is on their own hand. But they were warned though, right? So prophet's job is for letting you know, big dog, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and some Indians, get your act right. It's about to get real out here. Pray to the Lord forgiveness through Yahushua. And then may the Lord bless your family and you to get through these harsh times that's coming up. It's a whole prophecy with that whole instruction panel, what to do. Whenever there's a nuclear warhead or a bomb will happen, there's a shelter to go and instructions on how to protect yourself. Same thing with the scriptures, right? Let's go to the book of Jeremiah 28:8. Jeremiah 28:8. It's what a lot me and my brother start off with a whole lot. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries, against great kingdoms of war, of evil, and of pestilence. That's what they do. When the Lord is should look at even I like the book of Jonah. Jonah is a good one, but that didn't. But the people repented though, so the Lord chilled. But that's what the Lord said He'll do if you come back to His ways. He'll have that great mercy. But what happened? Jonah had to prophesy. He said what he had to say, and then y'all can get destroyed. And that's what he do. The Lord prophesy on it, send His men, say some words. Listen, this is what's going on. It ain't looking too good over here for y'all. Y'all acting real crazy over here. All right now, you know what? Get rid of it. Bang, boom, boom, justified. You've been warned. The Lord at least warned you first. Definitely would, right? Read 9. The prophet which prophesy of peace, when the word of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that the Lord have been truly sent him. Right. So when the Lord actually, like Noah is a good one. Now this is peace, but the same thing. If it's peace, then it's peace. If it's war, then it's war. Destruction is destruction. Whatever how it goes. Noah was popping off for a minute. What, 100 years or so? Yo, man, y'all better get right. It's a flood coming. It's gonna get real. Next thing you know, that ark closed up. They like, oh shit. Yeah. Matthew 24, starting at 37. You know what I mean? They eating, drinking, marrying. You know what I mean? Even back in the Noah times, until the ark closed up, and they were still doing it, and the flood came and wiped them all away. They were warned and played the sweet. It is what it is. But remember the prophets, when they prophesy against great countries, against great kingdoms of war, of evil, and pestilence. We're coming into that new time frame now. And it's going to be the worst one that human mankind has ever seen. It's one of the greatest prophecies out here besides the return of Yahweh Shah. It's the greatest, worst one ever. It's a great worst. You know what I mean? It's the worst time in human mankind history is about to happen. It's very, very fearful. It's very scary as shit. Because the Lord goes hard body when He makes a move. It ain't never small time. It's always some miraculous, miracle, crazy stuff, how the Lord moves. The Lord is very what you call flamboyant and really show-offy. Why do you think Jake like that? Jake always want to show off. Jake always want to look in style. They want to always go to the extreme. You know, you can just go and do a regular dunk. But no, Jake want to go a 360 windmill, crazy alien looking like wild shit. Had a whole crowd going nuts. Why you can't be normal? Jake got to be flamboyant and showcasey. How you think the Lord is then? So when the Lord upset and angry and He's mad as hell, and He's talking about doing some great damage, then you got to look at it from a perspective of like, okay, what kind of damage are you talking about? Let alone He said it's going to be the worst thing since human mankind history. And when you look through the list of destructions and stories of people, the way they're dying and how things were in times and slavery and all types of Greek Roman tortures. It's all kinds of wild, crazy shit in the ancient times through up until this point that can be classified as like a Jacob Trouble situation. Like, well, that's some evil and wild, cruel stuff on how these different events happen. And this time is coming up in the near future through our prophesy, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shah, warning the nations of people. Is classified to be the worst in human mankind history. Yo, that is insane. There's no way you can fathom the type of horror and the terror that's coming to this place. And we're prophesying, saying exactly that because the scripture says exactly that. Especially when it goes to Amos 5, right? Starting at 18. It says, when as if a man escaped from a lion, and you escape from a lion. You know how hard it is to escape from a fucking lion? I gotta say it like that. You know how hard it is to escape from a lion? I said this before in my video. Peep this. The Lord does a very good job because you can read right through it and not really grasp the concept, because you could just read it as if a lion flee from a bear and a bear met him. Okay, let's break this down really quickly. I don't want to go too long. You got to remember, a lion, a full-blown lion, can stand up to about 4.5 feet on all fours, and if he get on his two legs, he can get up to damn near 6 feet, maybe, right? And it weighs about 400 to 500 something pounds of full-blown muscle and power, right? Claws and tough jaws and just big as hell. and they can run about 40 to 50 miles per hour. You have to understand how difficult that'll be for something to be that big and can move that fast. That's what do I really flow with that? And then if you escape that impossible task, no John Wick, if you escape that impossible task, you get met with a big ass bear, and they already on this, almost on the same accord and damn near bigger. Imagine a big giant grizzly bear, brown bear, running over 40 miles per hour, big as shit like that, and can climb trees and are very agile. They're huge and very agile. That's another impossible task. So the Lord is like this. If you flee from an impossible task like a lion, you're going to run into another impossible task to a bear. You know when the Lord is dealing with you in that manner, it's going to be a great big lion that's abnormally not normal. It's going to be a huge bear that's not normal. And then he said, if you flee from that and think it's over, and you go into a house or you put your hand on the wall and a snake bit you, that snake probably going to be anaconda level. Like when the Lord come in and terrorize a person, it's not going to be something sweet. It's going to be the worst of the worst of the worst. It's going to be like, what are the odds that I get met with the biggest bear ever? It's going to be terrible, man. It is what it is, man. You know what? But me going into this, it's all about the prophecy aspect. Remember, the spirit of Yahweh Shah is the spirit of prophecy. That's her main job, to be out here preaching prophecy to get this whole thing ball rolling, and to be able to protect ourselves and make it in that chariot that we prophesied in general, the salvation aspect of the situation. So, with that, brothers, I brought this out. I hope this edifying to you, brothers, Lord willing. I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shah, Bahat Wadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders along the truth from GMS. Blessings to the Akim out there preaching his word with hard true sincerity. Blessed to the 144,000, 1/3 entirely, the first fruits kingdom of heaven, has David the Biaf that would die. And Shalom, brothers out there speaking different tongues and living different nations. Shalom, brothers.